Hey everybody, this is Randy. I hope that you're having a wonderful and a blessed day. And I'd like to take just a few minutes to tell you a little story. Now this story is pretty important, so whatever you're doing, if you would just stop it if you're watching TV, just turn it off for a little bit. If you're listening to the radio, turn it down. If you're doing something on the computer, just sit back for a minute and watch this video. It won't be very long, but I think you're going to enjoy the story. The story is about a fellow that had developed some pain. Now, we all go through life and we develop little aches and pains, and you know how that is. You kind of just blow it off a little bit. You look at stuff and you say, oh, that wasn't that wasn't a major deal. I did this, and that's probably why that pain happened. And that's exactly what happened to this guy. He was laying on bed on his side watching TV one night and developed a pain in his shoulder that seemed to radiate down his left arm a little bit, but he sat up and it went away. So he just attributed it to the fact that he was laying on his side wrong and his arm went to sleep or whatever. About 3 weeks later, he developed that pain again, only this time it was shortly after he got done eating a big meal. So he just made the assumption that he had indigestion. About another month later, he had the pain again, and this time it was pretty severe, so he went to the doctor, and they did all kinds of tests on him. And they did something called an ECG, they did blood workups, they did some type of scoping on him, they put him through a machine, a CAT scan, that did something called a calcium score. To make a long story short, at the end of all that testing, they came to him and said, look, they said to this guy, you have about 80 to 90% blockage in one, if not two or more of the arteries of your heart, and we need to immediately get you in and put some stents in you. And if we can't do that, then we need to, excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze. If we can't do that, then we need to take you in for bypass surgery. Well, this type of individual, this particular person said, he's not into invasive stuff, so he said, if it's at all possible, I want to see if I can fix this naturally. Of course, the doctor immediately said, look, he said, you need to understand something. He says, you're walking on a thin line. You could die at any time. Of course, he thought to himself, I could step outside the door of my house or the door of a store someplace and have a car jump the curb and hit me and kill me instantly. So, something, I just want to try doing it naturally. He'd already resigned himself to the fact that if this pain got really severe and really bad, that he would definitely go into the doctor's office and have whatever needed to be done. So he got on a bunch of different products, and he tried products for well over a year. And he didn't seem to really get any relief. I mean, he was at the point where even walking to his mailbox, he was out of breath. He would walk from one room to the other, and he'd have to sit down and wait till the pain in his arms subsided. He was marching on the line of should we or shouldn't we. He finally got to the point where he said, look, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm going to resign myself to go in and have the invasive stuff done. And so he decided he was going to do that. But before he could make the appointment made, and by the way, there had been an appointment scheduled for him that he backed out at the last minute. Maybe because he was fearful, I don't know. But the thing is that just before he was going to go in and reschedule, he got a phone call from a friend that said, look, I'd like you to try this product and see what you think. I think it will help you. So he ordered some and he got on the product, and within a week he was feeling better. He wasn't out of breath when he did things. Within about 3 weeks, he was at the point where he could walk his dogs without being out of breath and having to have pain in his arms. Within about 5 to 6 weeks, he was amazed that he could do most of the things that he was able to do before without having any discomfort. And after about 60 days or so of being on the product, he went back to the doctor, and he had a calcium score of 865. And that score was lowered down into the low 400s, which meant the product was not only helping him, it was reversing what damage had been done. Now, what's really interesting about this is that this product is nothing more than a drink that he drinks 4 times a day. Actually, 3 or 4 times a day. And it's just improved his life. It's made an amazing difference in what's happened to him. And the 2 main ingredients in this particular drink are L-arginine and L-citrulline, but there's other stuff in there that make it work better. Now, what's really interesting about this whole thing is that I know this story to be 100% true, because the fellow I just told you about was me. You see, I was a guy with the severe pains. At one time, at one particular point, I probably should have called the ambulance, and I didn't. I thank the good Lord that I'm still here today because of my stupidity, but I also thank the Lord that He was able to bring into my life a product that has literally changed my life. And you can have that same product. You can have that same experience that I experienced. So if you're suffering from a heart problem or diabetes or a situation where you think you might have a stroke, or you know somebody that is, I'm imploring you to please get a hold of me if I sent this to you. If not, get a hold of the individual that gave you this video. And I guarantee you that they're going to show you something that will change your life. It's not expensive, but it works. And not only works for me, it works for everybody. Did you know that the doctor that invented this particular combination of ingredients in these products, did you know the doctor that invented it at 37 years old was told that he had a circulatory system of an 80-year-old man? And after being on this regime of taking what I'm about to tell you about, or the individual that gave you this video is about to tell you about, after 9 months of being on it, he went back in and his circulatory system was that of a 30-some-year-old man, exactly the age that he was. So, if you're wondering about this and you want to know more, either get back to me if I gave you this, or get back to the individual that showed you this video. I hope that you're having a blessed day, and remember this, just remember this, that you have your life in your hands. I hope that I've gotten to you to save your life, like I was able to save mine. God bless you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.